Welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor and our Ironman challenge. Now I've got to be a bit quiet today because it's very late. It's actually very late. It's almost 10 o'clock and, well, where I'm living, the walls are very thin. So unfortunately I'm not going to be able to speak at my normal volume today, but hopefully you won't mind that too much. Anyway, we're here against a 3 Seers patrol and this is going to be pretty easy, but I'm hopeful that we will be able to gain a Doom Mace from our efforts here. If I'm able to gain a Doom Mace, then we are going to have a wonderful weapon to continue the game with, even though it only inflicts, well, unconsciousness. It doesn't actually kill anything, which is a bit of a problem here. You can see, look at how many possessed Doom Guides we killed almost immediately, which is exactly what I wanted to have happen here, because there are, I think, 13 of them in this actual group, and that's a pretty significant number. Pretty significant for such a small patrol, but I'm really, really happy that we killed 3 of them before any of the other units died. So that gives us a much better opportunity, much better chance, shall we say, of gaining a Doom Mace in the loot. So just cross your fingers when we get to the looting screen and see whether we're maybe going to get lucky here, or maybe we won't. It really depends. Now, otherwise, what I've been doing is I've been doing a bounty quest. I've been doing a bounty quest for the Kraken cultists, just running around trying to take out as many Vanskri raiders as I can get my hands on. And I was actually on my way to Dashar territory when I ran into these 3 Seers patrol and all these Doom Guides and everything, and I thought, okay, this is probably going to be a good time to start the episode. So, as you can see, there we go. We got 13 of them dead. Let's see. Okay, we're unlucky this time around, but we did get a gold bar and some heretic writings, which is always a good thing, because that's going to give me some additional rank points. Now, as far as I'm aware, I need about 150 rank points to become the Grand Master of a knighthood order, and then as a result have the Snake Cult Stronghold quest become open to us. So that is going to be quite a while from now, which is a little bit unfortunate. I would have liked to have maybe done it relatively soon, because we are at a pretty significant power level at the moment. I feel like we have a pretty strong army. It is not as strong as it would be if we had, I don't know, a huge amount of Rangers of the Clarion Call, for example, or if we had Noldor, or even our CKO units themselves. And that brings me to the next point. I probably will be becoming a vassal relatively soon. Not too soon, but quite soon. Not entirely sure when. I'm gonna do a little bit of thinking on that, because I would like to be able to start outfitting them with some really good gear. And as it stands right now, we really don't have the opportunity. Wait a minute. Why isn't he speccing into power draw? Yeah, he needs to spec into power draw. There we go. Almost made a slight error with him, but it's okay, because in general, basically anything is really good on Lethal Durin. He's just so good. Anyway, we've also leveled up. Oh, actually, no, never mind. That is still our skill point. There's a heretic army right there. We probably want to avoid them. But otherwise, as I said, we probably want to join a faction relatively soon. And I'm not talking about just any faction. I'm talking about a faction that we can capitalize on extremely much. And I'm not entirely sure which one is actually going to be the best for us, because if we join the Dashar, well, what are we going to get from that? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. If we join Sarlian, well, we're obviously going to have the opportunity to swap fiefs with Duke Alamar. Duke Alamar is the guy that has Laria under his control, and it's really quite good to have that, but it's not really that important for me to have Laria, because I am not a member of the Clarion Call. And while it would be very advantageous to have the Noldor very close by, because of course the Noldor are so extremely close that it would make all the sense in the world, because I do need 95 relation with the Noldor to have the opportunity to, as far as I'm aware, get the mystical plate. Get the mystical plate from the Noldor. And I think I also need 75 to be able to learn their secrets, or it's the other way around. Don't quote me on that, but those values are, as far as I'm aware, correct. It's just what they do at that particular threshold that I'm a little bit unsure of. But that's okay, because we're going to be fighting some Singalian raiders in just a second, hopefully. Can we catch up to them? I mean, we can, but it is just a matter of time. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. Whew. That was actually really good. Okay, so we have 74 against us. This is going to be pretty easy. I have been doing quite a few battles, as I say, against Vanskuris, and from what I can tell, my army at the moment is actually quite dangerous. And the main reason for that are my archers. Can you believe it? My archers are actually the reason why we're doing so incredibly much damage. As you can see, I mean, of course, these spearmen, they don't have shields. So it is entirely understandable to see them fall before us. But in general, we do a lot of damage, even against Vanskuris. And Vanskuris, of course, as I've said many, many times before, they are not exactly the most powerful units by any means. And they do tend to be, probably apart from the Mist Mountain bandits, some of the easiest to eliminate. But the main thing you have to consider with the Vanskuris is that most of them have shields equipped. And even though you may think, oh yeah, that's going to be pretty difficult for an archer-focused army or an archer-focused strategy to deal with, on the contrary, it's actually not that difficult. It's actually pretty easy, because their shields just get destroyed. They just get destroyed in no time whatsoever, and you're then able to shoot them at your leisure. And the thing with that is that also they move so slowly. They seem to have a very, very slow, or indeed low movement speed, probably not a lot of athletic skill or just very heavy armor on, and that is making all the difference in making them basically sitting ducks. But as it stands right now, I'm pretty happy with how my army is composed, but of course I am going to need to do something a little, maybe just a little bit more, just to push it a little bit better. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I'm going to take a look at our composition a little bit later on when we are about to enter a really hard fight or something like that, because then it will probably make the most sense to do something like that. Anyway, let's, oh, there we go. We can actually rescue a Dashar lady in waiting. That's pretty good. And I don't know whether you saw, but we did get our wages just before that fight, and I am losing about 6,000 dinars every single week. And because, of course, I'm not a mercenary at the moment, I think what I will probably want to do is indeed become a vassal relatively soon, and then try to capture a fief of some kind, a weakened fief, and if that's a castle, then so be it. I'm pretty happy with capturing a castle, because I will be able to then create my custom knighthood order, and that is going to be something very important indeed to get going very fast. And we have a Qualis gem as well, so I will be able to create it almost instantly. Oh, there's actually a tournament here as well. We might want to participate in the tournament. Let's just take a look at who is actually here. Sell our prisoners a little bit. And no, we can't actually take anyone from him. That's absolutely fine. And I will like to buy some food. Okay, we'll do the tournament just because I kind of want a little bit of extra cash here. I don't really want to die, thank you very much, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful about who I actually target. But there you go, not too bad. Double headshot. Wow. Double headshot. Kind of surprised. Oh, wow, okay. I'm pretty surprised about this. Scorpion Assassins. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good at what they do. If I can kill this guy, then I think we'll be okay. Maybe? I'd like to kill the horse. I wish my friend had stayed alive. That would have made all the difference. I wonder whether my friend had a lance or something. That would have been really nice. You know what? I'm actually going to go and we're going to try and attack them like a lance. That has proven in the past to actually be quite effective, amazingly enough. As you can see right here, 24 damage, a little bit of extra damage here and there. Never really hurt, as you can see. There you go. Took out the Scorpion Assassin, and now I can take out Alyssa. Ah, Alyssa was actually on the enemy side there. That made things a little bit easier, I suppose. Okay, so 2 teams. I'm on a horse. Okay, we're going to have to kill this guy. There we go, kill the Scorpion Assassin. And then maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to take out this one. If I'm lucky. There we go, very lucky indeed. Let's continue onward. 2 teams with 4 fighters. Maybe I can do a little bit of distracting here. I'm not really trying to kill any of these guys at the moment, even though I'm going to take the opportunity if I can. Like, for example, this guy's facing his back to me at the moment. So I have the opportunity to do a little bit of extra damage. Kratos is actually on our team at the moment. I'm a bit worried about that, to be honest. I would much prefer him to be on the enemy side right now, but I guess that's the reason why we're doing so well, because Kratos is such an absolute monster. And Lethal Durin is now eliminated from the tournament as well. And technically I could tab out now, but I'm just going to wait. And there we go. All right, so this is a 1 versus 1. I'm worried that this is Kratos. I'm pretty sure this is Kratos. So I have a lance. That's actually fine. Okay, it's not Kratos at least. It was just a hero adventurer with some javelins. That's really good. All right. Oh, I have a lance again. Are you serious? I am super lucky. This must be Kratos, by the way. This is 100% him, I would assume. Going to try and use my lance's manual attack just to get him off his horse, and then we'll try to take him out. There we go, 68. He's still alive after I did 15 and 68 damage. You know, this is just quintessential Kratos, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, of course it is. Very quintessential indeed. Okay, so there you go. We actually gained a pretty significant amount, even though we've very recently done a tournament here, but 20 renown is always welcome. 100% always welcome. All right. So I think now that we have done a little bit of extra bounty hunting, as you can see, I've been very lucky in the amount of Anscries that I was able to find in such a quick amount of time. Let's fight these Singalians, and then we'll head back to the Kraken cultists and see what we can do. And I will hopefully be able to take them out without losing too many units. But again, what we're going to do is we're going to try our tactic where I just basically move my cavalry over to the right side of the battlefield, and as a result of moving them to the right side, they face their left side to the opponent, and the left side is of course the side that they can actually fire their bows from. So that generally has much more of an effect than, you know, taking them off and forming the horse wall. Even though the horse wall is fantastic, don't get me wrong, the horse wall is a really great strategy, but in this kind of situation, probably not the best idea, because as you can see, these guys are wanting to circle around us right now, and it's absolutely fine. I'm pretty happy with them circling around us. I really don't mind that too much. But what I do want to do is I want to eliminate the majority of their infantry units that are going to be charging at us relatively soon from over this hill here. They're coming. They are coming, you know. It's just a matter of time before they come over the hill, and then we will be able to shoot them and hopefully eliminate them. My accuracy for some reason is not that good with this bow. I'm not entirely sure why that is. It's probably because I'm on a mount or something like that, but as you can see, these guys just die very, very easily indeed. Maybe if I try zooming out a little bit, it will make a little bit of difference. Maybe not, maybe not. But yeah, if these guys get to us, they can do some pretty good damage, but it's a really big if. At this point, as you can see. Okay, so we've actually lost how many units? 2. We've lost 2, and the enemy has lost 65 because I have literally just been patient. I've been very calm about things, trying to make sure that we are just surviving. That's all I'm literally trying to do at this point. And new enemies are going to be arriving, but I think that they have only spawned in, well, 1 or 2 people, as you can see on the map there, so really not a big deal. I am being shot a little bit as well, but that is nothing to worry about either. We're now going to tell everyone to charge in, going to tell my archers to hold position in this direction, because it seems as though some of them have dismounted from their horses. And it would probably make the most sense for us to come over here as well and try and take them out as best we can. And bear in mind, we had a pretty nice spawn area right there. You know, we had a little bit of a hill, which gave us a small advantage. Nothing too dramatic, but we were able to use that hill to our advantage. And even though we were not forcing the horse archers into the side, into the invisible wall, because of course that is also a valid strategy if you are having some problems, like for example with Kyuda the Ravager, or one of those other guys that tends to have a huge amount of horse archers. I'm talking about Barilgi the Usurper. He is such an absolute monster with his Omen Seekers. Those things can rip everything apart with their insane bows. Anyway, the point is that we are done. And we have a very small casualty report as well, which is really nice. And these guys might actually have some prisoners for us too. 20 kills for us as well. There you go. 10 Renown, 18 Morale, not too bad. Do they have anything for us? No, they don't have any items for us at the very least. And, whoa, okay, hello there. Oh yes. They have a lot of really, really fun stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have that much space, so I will only be able to take a couple of maiden cavalry. I guess this might actually be a good opportunity for me to kind of thin out the not so good units from my party here. And I know this is very difficult in my opinion. This is always very difficult for me because I kind of think that most of these units are really good, but there are those that are just a little bit less good, and it's kind of difficult to kind of decide between them. I guess we'll get rid of the armored pikemen because they're going to become gladiators, and gladiators tend not to have shields, and in Pendor shields are really good. And as you can see here, we got Sarlian Rogue Knights. These Sarlian Rogue Knights might actually do better. I don't know. I know that I sung their praises earlier on in the series because they are really good, you know? They are really good, but I'm going to just take the Maiden Cavalry instead because they're going to become Maiden Adventurers eventually, and those things are just insane. They're really, really fantastic. I could get rid of the Jatu Raiders, but they become Jatu Lancers, and they're really good as well. So I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and we'll move on. There we go. All right, not too bad. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Singal real quick as well, because I'd like to get some... Should I even bother getting some food? It doesn't seem to make that much difference. Oh yes, by the way, I stole Lethal Diran's arrows. Yeah. I gave him some Jatu arrows, and I stole his arrows, and we're now actually going to be using those instead of my bent Darkwood arrows. Because that's much better, of course. And should I go into the tavern? Maybe. There's probably not going to be anything here. No, there is nothing here. All right. So let's go back to Windholm. Thankfully, because we're not a vassal or a mercenary with anyone, we don't have to worry about anyone being at war with us. And the only thing we have to worry about is heretic armies and possibly Holy Inquisitor Rasmus, because I did see him around the central area near Sarlian. And that would be not so good. No, it wouldn't be so good. So let's just have a look-see at our rating before we hand in this quest. There you go, 26,000. That's actually pretty good. So let's just do that. And going to go into the castle real quick. And wait a minute. Do I have enough space? Yeah, I think I have enough space for any potential upgrades that they're going to give us. And there we go. Okay, so I do have a strange book that's going to give me a slight more rank points. And then we also have bounties to claim. There we go. There we go. They actually gave us some heavy plate greaves, and we've gained 25 rank points. This is one of the best quests that you can do to gain rank points with your knighthood order. It's easy, well, dependent on the knighthood order, of course, and it is very efficient as well because you're getting money, you're getting experience for your army at the same time as doing it. It's really, really good. And there you go. We did actually advance in level, which is really nice. So we are now a Knight Commander of the Order of the Kraken Cult. That is really cool. So they are looking for a tournament champion as well, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that in this episode. But I'm going to take a look and see what they actually gave me. Yeah, this is a reinforced Kraken mask, so it is much better than what I was wearing. And this is reinforced Kraken plate mail. If I did not have this Noldor Noble armor, this would be amazing for us right now. It's actually pretty good still because it does have another +3 to head armor, which is actually quite nice. And look at the heavy plate greaves. It's actually almost, well, yeah, it's actually almost better than the Noldor plate greaves, but the Noldor plate has 2.5 weight in comparison to the heavy plate greaves having 3.5. And then, of course, you have the shield as well, with 747 durability, 85 size, and 20 resistance. Pretty insane for something that you can get for just doing a couple of quests for your knighthood order. For free, no less. And I bought this shield for 43,000, so it's really up to you what you think is worth it. And, of course, the size is really good too. But personally, I feel like I'm just going to stay with the Noldor Enchanted Shield for now because my shield skill is so incredibly high that I don't really need to worry about the size of it. But next battle we're in, I'm going to place those things into our inventory, into the, shall we say, looting screen, and we'll allow our companions to select from whatever they want. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to figure out which units are actually at war against which. We actually don't know which faction is at war against who at the moment. Guess we could go to notes and we could have a look. Has no outstanding issues with the Kingdom of Sarlian. Okay, so there you go. So the Dashar are at war against the Empire and the Fyrdsvain still, by the way, because they were at war against them when we were a mercenary. And then the Bacchus Empire is at war with the Dashar, and that is it. And then Sarlian is at war against Ravenstern. So, here's the thing. If we decide... that might actually be an idea. Joining the Kingdom of Ravenstern. I know in the previous episode, well, King Gregory IV did actually award us an offer of vassalage. And I said, no, we're not going to be joining the Ravenstern. But maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. Isn't it funny how things work out? Because here's the thing. I'm going to go right now. We're very, very quickly just going to rush across the map. Not too quickly, because I don't really want to get myself absolutely murdered by some massive party or another. But you never know. Anyway, the point is that we are going to go over to Sarlian territory, right next to Laria, basically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check to see the various castles and their garrisons in that area and see which one is the most likely that we'll be able to take. And that's the one that we'll try to take by joining. Yeah, and then we have another offer from the Dashar here to become a vassal. Not going to be doing that, at least for the moment. Because here's the thing, I kind of want to build our CKO, and I want to make that into the greatest knighthood order that the world has ever known. And of course that's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a lot of money. So what I need to do is I need to try and find the greatest possible strategic advantage to that is also going to help us to advance in the game as a whole. So being able to take either White Stag Castle or Valashield Castle would be the perfect things to go for. But the thing with that is that we could also go for Shieldstorm Keep. That's actually pretty good as well. But personally, I want White Stag Castle. I think White Stag is probably going to be the best for us. I'm going to just very quickly have a look here. Alright, so you can see here, these guys are actually not amazing by any means. They've got 22 armored longbowmen. That's nothing, really. 13 halberdiers. That's also not really anything to worry about. And the rest is, well, not exactly special. And we have a huge army of archer-focused units. And we would probably be able to take this relatively easily. And then what we'll do is, yeah, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, maybe this is not going to work either, because technically the only reason why Whitestag Castle and Valershield Castle actually work is because you are a vassal of Sarlian. Because Sarlian vassals run around here, they take out Noldor units, Noldor patrols and everything, and then those Noldor are put in the prisoner's hold here. So instead of marrying someone on the border here, I decided, hey, why don't we just become a vassal of someone and then do it that way? But I'm now thinking we could do some subterfuge. We could do something a little bit covert. And by that, I mean what we could do is join Ravenstern, take Whitestag Castle, go to King Ulrich, and say, "Hey, King Ulrich, can I join your faction? I have a fief." And then say that I have Whitestag Castle, and then he would go, "Yes, please join me," and then we'll become a vassal of Sarlian that way, and then we will have Whitestag Castle. But of course, there is maybe an easier way of doing that. I could become a vassal somewhere else, and I could try to find the most weakened fief in all the land, and then I could just take that and then swap it for Whitestag Castle, for example. That might make the most sense. I'm going to just go into Whitestag Castle real quick, because what I would like to do is see if there is actually a knighthood order in there currently. It does not seem like it. Nope, it does not seem like it. So this seems to be the base for our knighthood order, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe you think that there's a better location. Laria is not something that I really want to create a CKO in, because it has the ranges of the Clarion Call already. But otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.